In this video, I want to share with you the pros and cons of the Canon TR7820 Pixma printer. So let's start this review with the positive side first, and then we'll talk about what I didn't like about using this printer. One thing that I liked is how you interact with this printer. It has this touchscreen and some buttons. Everything is very easy to use. And although the screen doesn't have the highest resolution out there, it's very usable, and every time you want to do something, there is no doubt how to do it. You don't need to read any manuals. Everything is self-explanatory. The control panel can also flip up if you prefer using this printer while standing up, so you'll have a better view of the screen. This printer has two different paper inputs. It's quite rare to see this. So it has one in the front over here, a drawer style, that can take up to 100 sheets of paper. And there's another one in the back. So if we go on the back, right over here, this is another paper input that is able to take another 100 sheets of paper, so 200 total. It's great because you can, for example, put some envelopes or some glossy paper for your pictures over there, and over here you can put some plain US letter size paper. So you have two different types of paper at the same time in the printer, and you don't have to get up and insert every time, let's say you want to print the pictures, the photo paper. It also has two different scanners, which is great. Over here we have an automatic document feeder that can take up to 35 sheets of paper, which is great. Most of them can take 30 pages. This can do a bit more. If you prefer using a basic scanner, a scanner glass, it also has this feature right over here. So you get the best of both worlds. Now, before talking about the negative side, let's check the print results. So before I start talking about the print quality, this printer is able to print at 8200 by 8200 dpi. If you check other printers in the same price range, so around $130, at least this is how this is priced at this moment on Amazon, you're gonna find that it's quite lacking in this department in terms of resolution. The Brother MFC J1170DW is able to print at 6000 by 8200 dpi, which is much higher, obviously. You can also find the Epson XP5200 that costs around $80 that is able to print at 4800 by 8200 dpi. So definitely I was a bit afraid when printing with this printer at the first, because I thought that the image quality will be disastrous because it lacks resolution, but in reality, don't get stuck with these numbers. This printer is able to resolve quite a lot of detail, and I was really impressed. So let's take a look at these results. So over here I have printed a photo picture on plain paper, and as you see, definitely what I appreciate about this printer the most when it comes to photo quality is the color reproduction. It's not one of the best in the industry. Obviously, printer that costs $500, $1,000 will do better in that department, but for this price range, $130, $120, I think it's one of the better if you compare it to other models. Here I have printed another pictures, and again, really beautiful colors. And again, if we take a look at the resolution, so I will simply zoom in a bit here. So this is why I'm making these reviews. You know, you can compare spec sheets on the internet, and if you just do this, you'll probably discard this printer quite easily because it's lacking resolution. But in reality, you will not notice the difference, and I would even go as far as says that if you're gonna print pictures and you just have $100, $120 to spend, this is one of the better choices in picture quality. Here we have a text file with some graphics, and this does a pretty good job as well on this. Not surprising at all. The text is sharp no matter which color, even if it's highlighted. Here I have printed a Wikipedia page, and again, text looks good. If you're going to print mostly text with your new printer, I definitely suggest you to get a laser printer instead of this one, because obviously most printers, I mean, I think almost all printers on sale today will be able to print sharp text. This is not really hard to manage, especially in 2025 for any printer. Even the $50 printer will get you good results. But now, what are the negative sides? So the first one, and I think it's the most important one, is the cost to print. Okay, it's very high. Let's take a look at which cartridge it takes. So if you want to refill, I mean to change the cartridges, so to have access to the cartridge, you have a gap over here and you have another one on the other side. You just have to lift and they will be presented to you over here. As you see, this printer takes one color ink cartridge that combines the yellow, the magenta and the cyan, and one black ink cartridge, so only two of them. The compatible ones are the Canon CL286 and the Canon PG285 for the black and white. This is a bit deceiving, which means that every time you run out of a color, let's say you print a lot of blue, unfortunately you have to change the whole color cartridge, even though you still have some magenta and some yellow left in it. You cannot simply refill the blue color. And this brings us to the replacement cost for these cartridges. It's very high. So for a pack of both the black and the color ink cartridges on Amazon right now, it's at $50. This will allow you to print 180 pages, sorry. So, this is 27 cents per page printed. And when I'm talking about 180 pages, we're talking about pages that are looking like this one. You will not be able to print 180 full photo page like this one over here. This is maybe you'll be able to print 60 of them with some good luck, depending. So definitely if you're gonna print pictures with this printer, it will get very expensive very fast. And this is a big trade-off. So I'm really hesitating to recommend this printer. Yes, the print quality is great for this price. You will not be deceived by this aspect, but it comes with a high cost. If you're going to spend just a few bucks more, I mean, it depends for who you're talking to, but I think, for example, the entry-level Epson EcoTank printers that are just a bit more than this Canon TR7820, well, you'll get ink bottles included in the box for those EcoTank printers that will last you 5,000 pages. At the end of the day, those printers are printing at 1 cent per page printed, color page printed, which is 27 times cheaper than comparing to this Canon printer. I think this printer is great in case you're printing maybe 10 pages, color pages per month, and maybe 5 black and white pages per month. This could be okay, I guess. Yes, the cost of replacing those ink cartridges will be quite high, but you will not do it quite often, and yeah, it will still justify having a good print quality. But otherwise, I think there are better options, especially if you're printing often. And as for all my reviews of inkjet printer like this one, I have to remind you that you need to print often. If you're not gonna print every week, and if you're gonna go on a vacation during, let's say, a month, 2 months, and you won't print anything, the ink will get clogged. And those ink cartridges will need to be discarded and replaced because the ink will dry out. If you are not going to print often, let's say you're taking big breaks between I don't know, each print, sometimes a month, 2 months. Well, it's better to go with a laser printer. A black and white laser printer will run around the same price as this Canon TR7820. Obviously, color laser printers will be much more expensive, but this is something to keep in mind. I'll still put a link in the description towards Amazon if you want to get this printer, but also links towards other printers that I personally recommend. Check these links out. You support my channel every time you go through them. Leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree with something that I said, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.